You are watching an MLGA Network live broadcast. Welcome to Make Liberty Great Again, the best damn Liberty podcast that you've never heard of. I'll be your guide as we peer into the ridiculous reality that is our society and our government. Let's get to it. Welcome to Make Liberty Great Again. I'm your host, Cam Harless, and I come to you with deep sadness. That is actually the last time that you're going to hear me say that. I have news, and it's not bad news, but we're going to have to get used to some new things. Today, as always, I've got I've been boiling Jessica Green in a pot of water like a frog until she's ready to finally accept being my co-host.
What?
But here she is. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I don't know that I care for that analogy where I'm being boiled in a pot, but
well, I mean, yes, technically you're the libertarian kitchen witch, so if anyone's boiling anyone in a pot, you should be doing the boiling.
Right. I strictly do the boiling. I'm the one who puts the people in the pot, so
understandable. With us today is the most handsome of the MLGA network, the old Southern uncle that you have on TikTok, the one who only talks about guns, Mr. David Derryberry.
What's up, y'all?
How are you doing, bud?
Awesome. Oh, I brought a friend.
Oh,
you
Alf.
got Alf.
That's great.
Watch your cat.
Yeah. Well, we used to have one, but we don't talk about that no more.
So where do we want to start tonight? Because, there's obviously the news that I've hinted at, but there's also a lot of stuff going on in the world, like Reddit apparently destroying the stock market. Like
that sexy ass picture in the background. That's the top thing ever to talk about.
That's your Burt Reynolds Vogue centerfold.
I will say something though, that I absolutely enjoyed the fact that Monica Perez made that her background for a little bit. So yes, I felt flattered. Yeah, I even though it was in jest, I felt flattered because it's Monica Perez.
She used to have a black silky cock on her background.
That is true. I overtook the black silky cock.
Then she changed it to Dave. So that's pretty big deal.
Yeah, I feel honored now, to be honest.
And then she had to take you off just to make sure her husband didn't get jealous because it's that sexy of a picture.
That is that sexy of a picture. Oh my God. No, but see what's happening with Reddit? I ain't heard nothing. Y'all are going to be informing the shit out. Today was my last day at my previous job, so I kind of was busy with goodbyes and all that shit today, so I didn't really pay attention to nothing online really, except for arguing with some Karen on Hillary Clinton's post on Facebook. Damn it, I knew I should have got into that, but but no, what's going on with Reddit?
I'll let you explain that, Jessica, because I have a feeling that you know a little bit more about stonks than I do.
Why do you feel that way? It's a misinformed opinion.
Because I know nothing. But first, let me just say real quick, I did mention that this is the last episode of Make Liberty Great Again. And I thought it would only be appropriate for us to bring back the man himself, the one who brought this show back from nothing with me, Mr. Phil Padilla, who is...
What up, Phil? Hey!
Who's grown a beard now. Yeah. So,
wow, that's different. I'm used to seeing the whole clean shaven. Looks good.
Hey, there's no rules in quarantine, man.
Damn right.
No. I've been trying. It hasn't come in yet.
Yeah, yours isn't filling in quite so well. It'd be all right.
And Phil, if you haven't met Jessica, that's Jessica.
Hi.
Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
This is
You'll
like
get
the
a big
daggone
pop
Brady
these
Bunch
days.
shit.
Just get on some hormone replacement. Say you're trans, and it'll be fine.
I just thought about something. This looks like Brady Bunch. We need like 2 more people. And you're like, hi Cam, hi Jess. Hi,
That's
Phil.
what happened with the big episode we did with Monica Perez. We had 9 people on, and it looked
Jesus.
like the opening credits to the Brady Bunch.
Y'all should have
And-
set it to the Brady Bunch theme. That would have been awesome.
Well, I mean, and Phil looks like an autistic leprechaun. But yeah, no, Jessica. Let's just do this portion of it, then we can get on to stonks and bonds. But
Stonks are going up, you guys.
They are. But before we do that, let's talk about the fact that the name of this show is changing. The show itself isn't changing except in some official capacities. 1, new name. 2, new permanent co-host, Miss Jessica Green, the woman. I decided that I needed to make sure that we were as egalitarian as possible, since libertarianism is all about egalitarianism.
Yes, I definitely didn't get here because of merit or qualification. It's strictly because I'm a woman.
That's right.
Yes.
Diversity.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's only beneficial for me, so I don't hate it. But
But yeah, so I've been thinking for a while that I needed to rebrand the show for a couple of reasons. 1, we're leaving the Trump era, and I didn't want to. It's not really a pun, but I didn't want to live forever on a play on words based on a president that is no longer president. It just seems like a waste of my time and everyone else's.
But wait a minute. He's making a comeback though. I heard he's like gaining his own army, all this other stuff.
the drops, man. There are so many drops.
The Kraken, all that shit.
But yeah, I didn't want to be stuck with that name. Not that I don't dislike the name. You get used to saying it. It's kind of catchy. But I wanted to expand it beyond just libertarianism. I want it to be able to be about more. But let's be real. All my closest friends are libertarians, so it's going to be a very anarchist show. But I wanted to, before we get going into stonks, to show you the new intro video that I worked on and made all by myself. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. And you guys have to let me know what you think of the name and what we are going to be.
The only people for me are the mad ones. The ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved. Desirous of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or say a commonplace thing, but burn, 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 like fabulous yellow Roman candles, exploding like spiders across the stars.
Tight.
Yeah.
So that's our new
Right.
paradigm. What do you think, Phil?
Well, like I told you in Signal, it's pretty intense, but I like it.
Yeah. It's like I told
That's
you
what
on some messenger. You just need a pissed off voice. Like Alex Jones.
My voice would go out so quickly. And let's be real, since I was in the creative mood, if you go on Amazon right now and type the Mad Ones shirt in, or tote bag, or pop
You got
socket,
merch out already.
you're gonna find one. So if you want a pop socket,
He
I'm
did
your dude.
all of that in like a day. I was like, are you snorting
That's
Ritalin?
him.
What is going on? I was No, but originally when he was making that intro, he asked me to do the read. And I was like, do you want it in a, what kind of voice do you want it in? And he said, obviously Gilbert Gottfried. which made me laugh. And so I was reading it to myself in a Gilbert Gottfried voice, and I got to the part where it said spiders, and I couldn't do it anymore. I just lost it. No, I'm not going to do my Gilbert Gottfried impression for you guys now. But it was a hell of a moment. I wish to God I'd been recording, because I would have demanded that be the new intro for our show.
So yeah, that's a portion of the book On the Road by Jack Kerouac, who was a beat poet. I've not read the book. To be fair and to be honest, my hearing of that quote came from a John Foreman, the lead singer of Switchfoot, reading it at a concert, and I was just like, I like that, and it's been in my head ever since. Like I don't even have to look at the words to read it; I just know them. So we're going to continue on every episode that I put up, every guest that I've announced. Still going to go the same, just with a new name, and there'll be a shift in,
Social media.
Well, social media, I just went to my name, and we'll have a new show Twitter account. It's already out there. We just haven't promoted it just yet. Gonna have to rename a bunch of things, but Make Liberty Great Again is dead, and I think it really died when Phil left me.
Wait, but I tell you, I got the shirt, so
You do those, and I'm gonna keep those shirts up.
I still
So
love my
sell
red
'em
shirt.
anyway.
It pissed so many people off. They'd look at it and they'd be like, huh? Like, yeah, see, I love that. Pissed off and confused. That's
Well,
what I
there
want.
are two shirts. There's the shirt with the logo, like I have with that lettering, and then I have one that looks like the Donald Trump
That's the
shirts.
one I
are.
got. It just
He's
says
got
Make
the one that
Liberty
looks
Great
like
Again.
Make America Great Again, and so people do a double take, and it was purely a troll when I made that.
Yep, I love it.
So Phil, in order to get Jessica ready to do this job, I sent her a lot of crayons.
Oh man, you did that to her too?
Okay, 1 year we do a Secret Santa in our Facebook group. We did it in our locals /signal /etc. group this year too. But last year, 2019, I don't know who actually had Phil who had Phil. But Ryan and I went to the store and bought probably 1,000 crayons. And we sent him, was it 2 packages or 3?
No, it was 2 because I did the initial shitty unboxing on the group. And I was like, wait, is this crayons?
Oh, it was David. David was your Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he nailed it. He hit it out of the park. And I opened up a couple boxes and I'm like, wait, these are just crayons. And then I open everything else. And I think you hear when I live streamed on Facebook to the group, I think you hear my wife saying, is it all just crayons?
Yeah.
And I say, yeah, it is. And then like a few days later, I get another box and I open it up. I'm all excited. And then she goes, is it just fucking crayons again?
Wait. In the first box, I think it was just like a box of crayons. But the second one, we bought
filled with crayons.
We bought
You guys.
we bought different treats like chocolate, different things that looked like we bought them a whole
Yeah, there were
bunch
like
of
Tootsie Roll tubes in there that used to come in back in the day, and all these different little candy things. And I would open them up, and just crayons would fall out.
I love these guys.
I was so mad, and then I got David's gift, and I was like, "All right, I got an office toy, I got a titty mag. All right, I'm good."
Okay, so
So-
they did give you something.
yeah.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
him something very, very, very. That, if I'm not mistaken, it was the one with the red cover, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that one. Luckily, I had two copies of it, and they've meant a lot to me because they were handed down to me by my dad. My dad used to be a subscriber to Playboy, right?
Okay.
So then he always stored them in his closet. Well, he was going to get rid of all of them, and he called me up and wanted me to come over. He's like, "You pick out any that you want to keep for any kind of reason." So I kept like a box of them that were sentimental to me, and but one of them,
like you do.
but he had.
I whacked
I
off
mean-
this one the most.
I tried so hard to say that without any judgment. I'm so sorry.
But hold up. Now I kept
Okay.
the one with like all the Pam Anderson ones. I kept those. Who's the other chick? She's like an anti-vax chick now.
Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy. I got hers.
Okay.
Vanessa Williams when she was in Penthouse. I had, but the ones I sent him, I had 2 copies of it. It was Vanna White's very own solo Playboy book that she did. So I had 2
Wow.
of them. So I sent Phil
Vanna
one of them.
White.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that Vanna posed.
Yes.
Neither did I. It was such a treat.
Just looking out for my boy.
It's
And
not
just so
like
you-
those. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just so you know, the reason we sent him that many crayons is because he's a Marine, and so that
Oh, is that like Marines are dumb or?
Yeah,
No, they just
Okay, I get you. But see, my dad was in the army,
they're
so
survivalists.
they
eat
have
crab.
that same, the same stereotype though, too.
See, that's the difference between the Army MRE and the Marine MRE. The Army MRE comes with a little bottle of Tabasco sauce, where the Marine comes with like the blue and red crayon that you'll get at like a restaurant or something.
Yeah, we just color on stuff.
Yeah.
So mean.
We do like it's like cave paintings. We just color on stuff.
but yeah, that was the thing, is because Ryan and I, like, I run the Secret Santa, so I know who everyone's Secret Santa is and all of that. And so I was like, David, I will tell you when to send your gift so that we can get these out and stagger them so that he gets one, opens it, and goes, oh, it's so funny.
That's
And then we go,
beautiful.
no, there's another one coming. And then the second, and then finally oh man. Mwah. Oh,
It was nice. It turned out really well.
I love you, Phil.
Yeah, my wife was like, after the second one, my wife was just like, these guys are dicks.
Almost made me spit my tea.
Do you guys have children that at least can make use of them?
No, we donated.
That's somehow even worse.
Yeah, we just
Oh,
she packed them all up in a box and went and donated them.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's good.
hey, Jessica.
Yeah.
I do got to share a story about this group though. This group, it goes back how far away? 2015.
2016,
Well,
Halloween
before my time.
2016.
Yeah, Halloween 2016 was like the official start of the group.
Okay.
I was
Or there
I
was
was a
stuff
Bernie
before
bro
that,
back
but-
then.
They well, see, when we first started fostering the 3 that we eventually adopted, we it was like we got them the night before Thanksgiving, so we weren't prepared that much.
Mhm.
And this group sent me and my family a ton of stuff for the kids, gift cards. I think somebody sent
That's
a whole box of
awesome.
clothes. But let me tell you a very interesting story, because they also decided they were going to send me a shit ton of stuffed animals, right? So there was this big box. It was like 3 foot tall. It was a huge box. And it came while I was at work and nobody was home. So the mailman thought it would be safe to just sit on the porch,
Mhm, mhm.
right within the reach of my pit bull. And I guess she decided they were varmints that needed to be extinguished. So we come home and it's already dark and my headlights go over my front yard and all I see are bits and pieces of stuffed animals all over the yard.
The viscera of all the
Oh,
stuffed animals.
It was a freaking massacre, man. I mean, I was sitting there going, because I'm used to seeing, sometimes I see dead animals in my front yard from where like a skunk or a armadillo or something gets up in there. So I was like, shit, what they got now? And I was like, well, that looks like a bear, a giraffe, an elephant. But he didn't get them all. She didn't get them all. She found a few that she really liked, so she held on to those. But it was, and that's how good this group is.
Yeah. That's a wonderful story. And I have seen so many cases just in the maybe 2.5 years that I've been on Twitter where someone will fall on hard times and the entire Twitter community just rallies around them. I remember during COVID, a woman, her son is autistic. So he gets stuck kind of on the same foods all the time and he'll only eat that one kind of food. And for him, it was the reduced fat Jif peanut butter. GIF? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, she couldn't find it anywhere in her area. And, this kid, he like really only eats this one kind of food. So the entire Liberty Twitter community descended on this problem and she got boxes and boxes and boxes of this peanut butter. So this kid will never run out of it long past the point where he's moved on to another food. But I was like, that's awesome. Like within 48 hours, Twitter had rallied and got this kid his peanut butter. I'm like, see, we can do this, you guys.
Oh yeah.
Totally possible.
Yeah, that's how the group was. I mean, there were GoFundMe's, there were the Secret Santa, there was everything. It was a little community, and anything that anybody ever needed, everyone just rallied behind and supported them. And then we got nuked for what was
God,
it?
pissed me off.
I think officially the MLGA group on Facebook got nuked. I think it said hate speech, but it was also just right after they flagged a couple of things about questioning the coronavirus narrative. So it was like we saw nothing about hate speech. We just saw some stuff about how people were saying maybe this isn't what the media says it is, and those got flagged immediately.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I still get notifications like, hey, this was removed for violating our community standards, but it doesn't show you what was removed or like what happened. I still get those notifications.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And they took us off on the 4th anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right on
the day of our anniversary.
Halloween 2020, we got nuked.
Right before the election.
Yeah.
And we were a
bummer,
private
you guys.
group.
I'm sorry.
I never understood why it was a private group and they somehow bitches.
It's very naked. It's very naked now. They're not even, in a lot of cases, they're removing people and not even telling them why. I think Ron Paul's account was if not removed, they can't post from it anymore. And they just said violating our terms of service, which is like not anything.
That's like banning Grandpa.
Say what I did, like what did he do exactly? So he's a recognizable person and he's going to have people in his corner to fight for his account, which will probably be opened back up, maybe. But the rest of us don't have a chance. We're not like ex-senators who have public recognition. So when they nuke, the little guy, we don't really have any recourse for that. And I see all kinds of accounts on Twitter that were awesome and they're gone now.
Oh, can I make an announcement?
Yes.
Okay.
I am officially putting in my bid on this show only, not saying it anywhere else. Write me in as president. Because Donald Trump sucked ass. He did not free Ross, he did not free Julian, and he did not free Edward. And that if I became president, my first act would be to do that, and I'd fucking retire. I don't know. I'd leave. I'd quit. I'd be like, all right, I did what I got to do. I'm getting fucked out. And then whoever else can step in right behind me. But I want somebody to do that, just to do that and be done.
Yeah. So what, 3.5 years or 3.25 years from now?
Yeah. Write me in.
Remind me.
Yeah.
I might forget.
So Phil, you work in banking, don't you?
I did, and now I work for a fintech company now.
So do you pay attention to stocks?
What's that?
I said, do you pay attention to stocks?
No, not really. I don't trust the market. I don't know enough about it. So I'm just like, hey, I have extra money. I'm going to put it in my savings.
Buy bullets, dude. Come on.
Can you describe to us what short selling is? because that is where I would have some trouble.
So
Isn't it? Shit.
I know, no,
I
Taking notes.
it's
like. I feel like I understand when people say it. I know what they're talking about, but like to actually define it,
right.
it's
'Cause
one of
I was
those
really
things.
He told me he was gonna ask me to describe it, and I was like, oh shit. I mean,
well, like in a very basic way, it's betting that a company that is sold, to the public is going to go down, and so they buy stocks up at a certain low amount, and they make their bet. And so what happened apparently was the what's it called the Reddit Wall Street bets decided they were going. GameStop for several months now has not been doing well, and so people have been shorting, making those bets on GameStop. And so Wall Street Bets decided that they were going to buy up a bunch of GameStop stock. And what happens is when you make those bets, if the price goes up, the people who have made the bets have to continue buying it as a way to make their bet safer. And so by them making the money go up, then the people who were shorting it, they also bought more into it, which made it go up even faster. And it's like a cycle. And so I think the number they said, the people who were on the stock exchange who lost money, it was something like $3.3 billion were lost.
I saw a figure about an hour ago that said 14 billion. Yeah.
Well, they've also moved on to, they're also doing BlackBerry and AMC theaters.
AMC, Express, like
Blockbuster.
clothing. I think tomorrow's supposed to be like Nokia and BlackBerry. I'm sorry, but I can't help but keep seeing on the ticker tape it says Ryan Burgett deserves to be here, and it's just bringing me back to the old days. I'm just laughing.
The first time,
Jessica, you might not get that one, but it's funny to us.
Okay. I believe you.
So that's an inside joke from one of our early episodes with me and Phil when Ryan came on. I don't know if it was we were talking to him or if he was interviewing us. I can't remember which one it was, but we were doing the cold open.
Wandering Mormons episode.
But some great episodes.
I missed all the good stuff.
But when Ryan came on, we were doing our cold open, and he just pops on and he goes, "I'm Ryan Burgett, and I deserve to be here." Which I think is where my name is Ryan and I'm an agorist came from.
It's got to be. So that's like on my 100th episode, I did the intros to all the shows that are on the network, and even some of the past shows that people were involved in before we got the network going. And what I did was I took pieces of the intro, and then it sounded like you were tuning in a radio, and you'd pick up a station, it'd be like one intro, and then it would static and then go to another intro. And I think it was at the very end, Ryan said, I had Ryan saying, "I'm Ryan Burgett and I deserve to be here."
But yeah, so with what's been going on the stock exchange, the elites are pissed off because the only reason that this happened was because of apps like Robinhood or other apps that let the plebs just buy stocks when they want to without fees and stuff. And so it's no longer as regulated as they would like it to be. And so right now they're all very pissed off. And I saw I'm going to pull this up. I went on the Down Detector Twitter account today. And if you actually look at what's going on, come on now. But if you actually look at the different websites that are down and stuff like that, it was almost all the people who would be pissed off about this. Let's see. I'm going to share that if I can get that pulled up. There we go. So it's like TD Bank is having problems at 953. Allies having problems at 954.
Wow.
Fidelity is having problems at 939. E-Trade is having problems at 939. Charles Schwab 939. All at the same time. It looks like all of the different people who do stock purchases and trade on the stock markets, their websites just.
So is this like almost like a stock market
down.
crash?
No, I mean the S&P from what I've seen seems to be fine.
They're
but-
buying stock, so it's not as though the money is being taken out of the market. They're buying the stock. They just can't regulate millions of individuals buying penny stocks and
Yes.
causing people who are betting on short sells to lose their bets.
This is so beautiful. I love it when
Yeah.
chaos reigns.
And from what I understand, if I understand this correctly, they can just keep doing this. There's
Yeah.
any regulation that could get set up to prevent them from doing this would undercut or point out exactly what hedge fund managers do all of the time. So,
Well,
That's what
you
they're
know,
trying to do. They're trying to put a pause on the trading for a month to let it even out.
Whoa.
they can there would be no excuse for them to do that other than to preserve their monopoly on the financial markets.
Yep.
I don't see how people wouldn't gather around and burn it to the ground if they did something like that. Not
Oh.
advocating that they do that. I'm just saying I don't see how they wouldn't do that.
You're advocating it in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what I do in Minecraft is nobody's business but me and God.
Dude, what? They still have BlackBerry stock?
Well,
There's
that's
still
the point.
Blockbuster.
BlackBerry is at such a low price, and it's one of those that's going to go out of business. That they choose these ones that they can buy for a little bit of money, and shoot that price up, and mess up these people from making money. And so, I mean,
Nice.
it's very clear that the elites are not happy, and that
Of
they
course.
cornered a market, and that they're shutting down these different things or putting manual freezes on purchases, etc. I mean, it's very transparent.
They're going to lose out on their let them eat cake moment.
Well, I was listening on Fox Business, and they were talking about this guy. I forget his name, but he sunk $75 million into GameStop as an investment to kind of revitalize the company, and now his investment is worth $3.1 billion.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
have that in America West Side song. I don't know all the lyrics, so I'm not going to sing it. But only in America, right? Like, holy shit. That's the right
Yeah.
bet.
No shit.
Good for that
Make
guy.
me wish
I hope that guy better cash out and just be like, I'm living the dream from here on out.
Makes me wish I'd have put $5 or $10 in shit.
It's not funny. Stop laughing.
Not to mention that you'll look at this is also another one of those moments where the cathedral shows their face and the mask slips, because you've got Vice, Vox, all these places saying this is not funny, this is not the way to do this, blah blah blah.
Because we
And-
can't stop. We can't make money because everybody else is making money.
That's
Oh,
why Nico
hey.
is one of my favorite
Yeah,
accounts
I like
on
her.
Twitter.
I like her.
And they
Oh my
can't
God.
stop it. There's
No.
no way they can stop it without undercutting what they do themselves. They're like,
No.
it's beautiful.
The people, baby. The people. The people.
But that's why communication avenues like Signal are really important, because the Reddit group will be shut down. Discord was already shut down, and the Reddit group will be shut down. In fact, I was telling my husband over dinner that I am sure there is a government agent on the phone with Reddit right now being like, okay, you have to shut this shit down or we're going to ruin you guys. And by the time I finished dinner, I got back on Twitter and I saw that Discord had, in fact, gone ahead and banned Wall Street Bets. So I didn't know that as I was saying it, that was literally what was happening. But I'm pretty sure the Reddit group will be gone 48 hours, I give it.
And I just need to point out though that, you know, sometimes I make a meme or I make a point and people like to just steal it without attribution, and that I don't know. I've never had a super clear example of this,
What a bitch.
but
Oh,
That's
Instagram.
a
Sir.
bitch move.
Come on, anybody but that guy.
Sir.
This is my life, man.
Oh,
Why
but
does it keep flashing
Mhm.
back to David's sexy ass laying on a tailgate?
that's right. Because it's a sexy ass picture. That's why. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. But no, I will say two things. One, I haven't told even my audience. I don't really get on Discord. I took it off my phone. What's the other one? Parlor. I don't have it no more on my phone. Only thing I use is, the three major ones, Instagram, Facebook, and the TikTok. And then I got I do use Signal. Of course, I have my notifications turned off, so I don't really keep up with what the group's talking about because God, I can't stand my phone going off all the time. But it's something I was talking to somebody who's very paranoid, even more than me, about Big Brother listening in on what you're talking about and all that shit. He trusts Signal. He don't even send text messages no more. It's just all his communication is done through Signal. So I've pretty strong faith that Signal's a pretty reliable platform.
Yeah, Ryan did an episode about it.
Oh yeah, I heard that one. That's cool.
The
On
market
that.
Oh
necessitates
yeah, he went on this
alternatives.
big long rant about it in our Signal group chat.
I was
Totally
seriously
freaked
lost
out.
on his episode. Yeah, his episode, I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but by God, it sounds like it's a good idea. So,
Yeah, I'm like, hey, if it doesn't involve, here's how you turn the computer on, here's how you turn the computer off, I'm lost.
oh, dude, that's why one of my favorite shows, Thank You for Your Servers, half the show, I don't know what the hell those two are talking about, but I listen.
No, like I'm on my phone right now because I couldn't get this to work on my laptop and I couldn't figure it out and I just got frustrated and I was just like, whatever, I'll just do it on my phone.
Aww.
Vox posted a popular baby sleep expert on Instagram donated to Trump. Where does that leave new parents?
What the hell does that
I
even
don't
mean?
know.
What does that mean? Like,
We can't, you're not an expert anymore because you donated to Trump. Well, I don't, God, people are
Like,
so
you just have
stupid.
to.
you can't raise kids or something? Like you can't put them in a little, you can't snuggle them up in a little blanket and hold them and put them in a little sling because she donated
No.
to Trump? Like,
Nope.
No, you have
Nope.
to throw your baby away now. You have to put it
Yep.
in a garbage can. That's the rule.
yeah, you got to.
It's like if they got rid of baby books, people would be lost. Like how and what to expect when you're expecting.
I was
If it
reading
wasn't for that
something
book,
this morning about something coming to Netflix called Anti-Racist Baby. I guess there was a book that was put out by
Is it-
this really extreme guy about how like white people should apologize for their privilege and their racism inherently, and
man,
it's
fuck
Yeah.
that
being
shit.
turned into a TV show on Netflix for children. So you
Is
can
it
indoctrinate your
animated?
Children. Yes, it's animated. It'll be an
Oh,
animated show on Netflix targeted towards children for their anti-racist behavior.
he was saying that to be funny, and now I'm sad.
Yeah, I know. God.
Anti-racist baby. I think it
Yeah.
looks like it's by the same guy. Is he the same guy who wrote the white fragility thing?
That was
Probably.
a lady.
I don't remember, but like, aren't
Okay, no,
all
he-
babies
Only a woman would write that shit.
He wrote a book called "How to
A white
Be
woman.
Anti-Racist."
Babies don't like babies grab onto whatever.
Oh, that might be a dude. Oh my god.
How to
Anti-ra-
be-
Oh, I forgot the word baby. I googled it I googled anti-racist baby without the baby, and I was like,
Wait, I
oh no.
thought- I'm
What did it do?
confused.
Pull up Joe Jorgensen?
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought "How to Be an Anti-Racist" was by Joe Jorgensen.
She is laying disassembled in a parts warehouse somewhere right now.
I'm wondering where she's at. I ain't heard nothing.
It's very lonely.
Hey Phil, are
I can't
you on
believe I
TikTok?
only got 84,000 votes. Am I on TikTok? Fuck you.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I'm the only 13-year-old girl here.
Yeah, let
Well-
David do all those happy dances and all those sing-alongs. I'm not playing with that.
I don't do dance. Oh, I did one. I did one dance. I did two. I did two dances.
Yeah, I know you did.
I-
I know you did. You probably did more.
No.
Did you dress up as a nurse at least?
Is it what?
Europe?
He goes, did you dress up like a nurse?
That's his poop face that we got right there.
That's the poop face. That's the face you make when you go number 2.
No, I've only
I
done
was
two
trying to
dances.
say,
One.
I at least hope he dressed up as a nurse when he was dancing.
No, I hadn't done that one.
What, Dave?
Oh, man.
As a nurse?
Oh yeah, I'd be one sexy nurse.
They're male nurses. I mean,
Yeah, you would.
Oh no, if I was to dress up as a nurse, I'm going full candy stripe
full
shit.
regalia. Yeah. Okay. Good.
A
Good.
little hat and everything.
I expect nothing less.
That's right. But no,
So-
I did one dance
like
with
that.
with my foster daughter, and then because I told her I would, it was like once I hit like 10,000 followers, I said I'd do that dance with her. I think that was New Year's,
Wow.
and then
Congratulations.
thanks, I guess. Stupid TikTok, but then I
You're
did
TikTok famous.
apparently that's what I keep hearing anyway. It's like when my when the foster daughter, she was talking about, she goes, how many followers you got? I was like, I don't know, like 14,000, something like that. And she was like, oh my God, you got TikTok fame. And my daughter was like, no, we don't. Shut up. No, we don't. I was like, it's y'all's fault. I got this stupid account anyway.
But I do want to show you my most recent favorite TikTok video. Because this guy reminds me so much of Ron Swanson, and he echoes my racism against
He looks
collegiate
like it.
white women. Watch this. Watch
Oh
this
shit,
beauty
he
here.
looks just like him.
Yes, he does.
Let me make sure the audio is going to work, because last time I had a stream, it didn't, and it made me very unhappy. Wait. This one, share audio. There we go.
Doing it live.
God, I'm incredibly happy. This water tastes so phenomenal. Life is such an exquisite, perfect miracle without any flaw. What an incredible, marvelous, wonderful reality I find myself in.
That is exactly what I do every morning. It's so relatable.
Ugh.
Oh, and then I asked Jessica what her favorite TikTok was, and then she said something close to what Phil said.
Yeah, I said that I don't do TikTok because it's a Chinese communist spy tool, and I waste too much time already on the U.S. Spy tool, which
tool.
is Twitter.
Here you go. Here's her favorite one.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it, and they start throwing it at our top. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then this is the soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
No, I love TikTok. Oh.
Wow.
See, luckily, I've gotten off of the ass shaking and like tweens type bullshit, and I found my way into anarchist TikTok, which is interesting.
I'm glad you've moved on from where you started.
Well, it takes a while because it's like filled with it. You gotta like, and of course, it was like later that I found out that there's an option to where you can hold your finger down on it and say not interested, and it won't show those kind of videos again. I didn't know that. I just thought you had to keep just scrolling by as long as you didn't interact with it or something.
I
then,
just found this out.
About
Because,
the not interested? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of how TikTok seems to work is you scroll, you have your fun, you move through, and then you go from like 15-year-old girls shaking their butts to you go through different stages of different types of TikToks. I got into frog TikTok at one point. But yeah, everyone goes through gay TikTok.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know why.
I do like cooking TikTok though.
Because gay people are hilarious in all the best of ways. And I'm sure that their TikToks are amazing.
So
there's also like non-binary TikTok.
See, I like the
oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for non-binary TikTok.
The gay Republican TikTok was interesting there for a while.
Yeah, I've gone through gay Republican TikTok. Also, so much Trump talk.
Yes.
I'm gonna miss him so much. Not because I loved his policies, but just because he was so funny. And just Joe Biden is gonna be accidentally funny, but he's never gonna be as purposely funny as Trump was. And
at least I'll get audio clips from Biden. I didn't get much audio from Trump.
We don't know what we got till it's gone. And sad day.
I'm gonna miss Daddy.
I don't care that he's not the president anymore. I just care that he's not, gonna be able to lead the media around by the nose ring anymore.
He was good at that. Oh my God.
He was so good at it. It was beautiful.
And it freaks me out when I told Ryan, I told a couple people this, I still believe that he's the best president we've ever had, simply for the one accomplishment he made was delegitimizing the office of presidency. And I was like, that right there puts him at the top for me. And not because of any of his policies, nothing, except for the first step back. I like that one.
I think the only thing that rivals that with him is the fact that he made it so that Hillary Clinton can never be president.
I like that reason. That's a good reason too. Wasn't there a president who died in 2 weeks because he gave
William
his
Henry
speech?
Harrison.
He was
my
actually
favorite.
He's at the number one. He's number one top.
I love him. He's so great. He did exactly what he should have done.
He was like, I'm just gonna die.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna get a horrible flu because I'm dumb and die. And that's what he did, which is nice for everybody else.
We should have Harrison Day.
It took him.
I'm sorry to William Harrison III's family for the comments I made about him.
He just quickly became the only type of good president.
Yes.
Yeah, he's our favorite president now.
I need to have a shirt with his picture on it saying the best president, just so people say, who is that?
Who is the one who got shot by the anarchist?
I don't know.
Because Emma Goldman was very mad at that dude.
Only a few of them have been shot. Like only 3, right?
Reagan, Kennedy, Lincoln. There was another guy got shot at a bus station.
This guy was shot by someone who read Emma Goldman was a self-described anarchist. Around the time they
be responsible for that.
Yeah, there was the president that got shot at the train station. I can't remember his name.
Okay, so was William McKinney got shot?
Yes, William McKinley.
Yes. Okay. McKinley. Sorry. McKinney. 28-year-old anarchist Leon Szgolugs. Yeah, That's a CZ, and I don't know how to pronounce that sound.
Why can't people have normal last names like Derryberry?
All right. Get a real last name.
Like Green.
So interestingly, a proper last name. Thank
Color.
You. I noticed that for this assassin, they do not include his middle name, which I've never seen in an assassin.
Yeah.
That's usually the the opposite. What do you call that? The
Modus
MO.
operandi.
Yeah, he approaches him and fired 2 shots into his chest in 1901. And
Was that the train station one?
yeah, it's the Pan American Exhibition, whatever that means.
Yep.
Just reading Google to you, basically. I'm the Jamie of this show, and I read Google to you.
Look that up, Jamie.
Look that up, Jesse.
They probably have that shit trademarked. Look
Yeah,
it
I
up,
know.
Jamie.
Duck, duck, go that shit.
Duck, duck, go. That Jesse is the poor man's Google that Jamie.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do that. We're gonna use that. Cam, you got to add that to your repertoire now. Like, I don't know what that is. Don't go with that, Jesse.
It's so funny. I'm so used to calling you Jessica because this is how it works. The first time I'm introduced to you, and I hear your name and that's your name, that is what I'm going to call you for the rest of the time I know you, unless I give you a nickname. That does happen. But like,
I got a couple.
from me.
Well, I got Dingleberry from you, but that everybody calls me that way.
Well, that was just me trying to get your attention. But no, it's like so in like when you were on, we were all together with Monica at the end of the year. I was asking Jesse from Voluntary Vixens something, and you responded, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she goes by Jesse outside of this." So
Right,
maybe
in
I'll
real
have to
life,
make
yeah.
that switch.
Yeah, that was hard for me when Jesse was on, and the next time I was especially careful to like sit on my hands every time I heard the word Jesse. I was like, they're not talking to you.
Well, and it's like I think that my thing with calling you by the name that I am originally, I don't know if it's just something about how autistic I am or something, but it's like my brother is Christopher, and he went off to college and he decided that there were too many Chris's and that he was going to start going by Topher. And I was like, I think you're going to need to go fuck yourself because I'm not calling you that.
I
Well, see,
don't
I'm-
even know Chris, and I'm not going to call him Topher ever. I will dead name him forever.
And he was like, that's what our grandmother always called me. And I'm like, I was there.
I
You're
don't remember
making
that
that
shit.
up.
Bullshit, Topher.
You invented that shit in your head, Topher. You can call him Topher, but you have to say it in a really denigrating, like
Oh, yeah.
divisive way.
You-
Topher.
Okay, Topher.
Topher.
So that's kind of like my sister. I grew up calling her Carrie all my life. And then people started calling her Carol because that's her name. Not me. It's always been Carrie. Of course, I tried calling her Carol one time and she looked at me like I done farted in her face. So I said, okay, Carrie it is.
The South has the best culture.
Trying to imagine the kind of face I would make if someone farted in my face, and it'd get real pretty fucking quick. Like,
It's like, oh my God, it just reminded me of a story.
holy shit, you just fucked up.
There's this dude I used to work with. Oh shit. There's this dude. His name was, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a douchebag, okay? I mean, and we used to roast the hell out of him. We would like one time he had his hoodie, his favorite hoodie. You know, he was a younger guy. So we took his hoodie and ran it up a pole and duct taped it to the pole in the warehouse.
Oh,
He about went into tears because he couldn't find a fucking hoodie. He was a little bitch. Anyway, so one day my buddy, he was like, hey, come here. So he was in his car, right? So he rides up next to my buddy. He rolls his window down, and it's like 20 degrees outside. And my buddy just raises up, wrong, farted in his face. And I was, yeah, it was very gross.
you guys
very
are bullies.
'Cause he
This
couldn't-
is bullying.
He couldn't roll his window up to get warm because the paper locked the fart in the car.
That's very rude.
So from then on, I called him Spackle Face.
Aww.
Do you want to see what my reaction would be if you farted into my face?
Show me your big gun, daddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's totally what I would do. That is the
I was-
kind of man that I am.
That was back when I was like 20 something though. Okay, that was like half a lifetime ago.
That's also the name
Garfield?
of a president.
Did he get shot?
I don't know. Let me duck go that.
Go that shit, Jesse.
I'm not gonna use duck go.
Start page that shit. Or even worse, being that shit.
Firefox. Being that shit.
Internet Explorer
Jeeves.
that.
That's Jeeves that shit.
Okay, let's see. Grover Cleveland. No, that's the wrong guy.
Firefox that shit.
James A. Garfield.
I love that we had a president named after an orange cat.
Yes. We had Orange Man. Damn, that would have been funny if his last name was Garfield. Shit. We missed that boat.
He was shot. 2 shots. One glanced off his arm, and the other pierced his back, shattering a rib and embedding itself in his abdomen. My God, what is this? He exclaimed.
Fucking gangster. That's some gangster shit right there.
I've been shot.
My God, what is this?
I
Sounds
do
like
declare.
British.
I think
I've
something
been shot.
something jumped up and bit me.
Things in the 1800s were so proper. Even when you get shot fucking back, you're like, my word.
I do declare. I think there is a round in my flank.
I can't believe you've done this.
Alexander Graham Bell tried to locate the bullet with a primitive metal detector, but he was not successful.
Bastard.
I don't know why that's no, it will be Jessica. It'll be me what?
I think he means not Jesse, but Jessica.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
What?
I don't know.
Paul's a little behind, probably.
Yeah.
Paul, catch up. Fast forward about 5 minutes or so, bro. I like Paul. Paul's cool. Him and his damn flannel.
Wow. He did not die right away. He expired from fever and abscess. So it took him a while to die.
Oh,
from that
damn.
shit. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. If you gotta go like that, you want it right in the head, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to let Paul know that he's an inspiration. Tomorrow is my first day at my new job, and he's still on his name thing. And then so then
That's fine. Do whatever the fuck you want, dude. My
see,
opinion
I'm
doesn't
good,
matter.
Paul. I'm good, Paul. I'm looking out for you, brother. So then it's like, they told me I had to wear a button shirt, because I can't wear a t-shirt and blue jeans at this place because they're all fancy and whatnot. And I'm still gonna be printing, which is stupid. But so I'm wearing a flannel shirt tomorrow for my first day. Paul, that's for you, bro.
So
So let's
Go
talk
ahead.
about presidents who've been shot, because this is actually interesting to me, because off the top of my head, there's JFK who just got domed.
My son
Lincoln
says
got
he's the most open-minded president ever.
you gotta respect his ride or die bitch who tried to climb on the back of the car to get his brain.
He's like, I gotta take his brains.
I
was
got
like,
it. I
"Hell."
got it.
That's a bad bitch right there.
That's right.
Flannel is the best clothing for concealed carry.
Yeah, it's not gonna leave much of an imprint. Makes sense.
My yoga pants are not gonna do it.
Mine either. Mine either.
I'll be like, no, I have a dick. It's totally a dick.
It's just soup.
It's a soup can.
Yeah, it's soup for my family.
See,
They call me-
TikTok will worm its way into your freaking head, and you can't stop.
My family soup.
That's why Jessica's nickname is Soup Can.
No. I reject it.
Beat
So
that
this,
shit you can.
this just to end on a note with James Garfield here, he did not die of his gunshot wounds. He died of malpractice because back in the 1880s, they prescribed you cocaine for having ghosts in your blood, and they didn't understand what to do with a gunshot victim.
That's
So
science,
that's why
baby.
he died. Yeah.
Science. That's what I
Oh,
tell
boy.
everybody when they're like, dude, you gotta trust science. I'm like, dude, not too long ago they were feeling bumps in your head telling you what was wrong with you. I'm like,
Here we go.
don't. They wanted to cut a hole in your head to bleed the demons out. No.
Are y'all ready for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got strong opinions. He's got strong opinions. He's got strong opinions. Which one will he give?
Hey,
Hello.
I'm Ryan Burgett, and I deserve to be here.
That's my man.
You do.
What's up, Ryan?
Howdy. Trying to get my
Having a good
headphones.
old team.
Oh God.
Why am I not hearing myself?
I don't want to be called
That's-
soup. The worst.
Being that shit, soup.
That is not a flattering nickname at all when you think about it. Like,
Come on, cream of chicken.
why do they call her that? Oh my god.
Because they're donkey dick.
Come on, chicken stars.
There we go.
Okay. So here's a list of presidents that were assassinated. Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy. Let's see.
Except for-
Theodore Roosevelt was shot. I remember that story because it's always told about how much of a badass he was because he got shot and then he finished his speech and then was like, "Oh, you shot me."
I declare.
And of course, Ronald Reagan was also shot. But there's a big
Yeah.
list of people who tried to kill presidents. Andrew Jackson, William Howard Taft, the fat fuck, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Truman, Kennedy, Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and then just all of the presidents since then.
It depends on what you. I mean, come on. You could add a lot.
think so.
Add every president and probably every politician ever to that list, especially today when you have the internet.
Does
I-
it,
I'd
count
be very-
as does it count as an assassination attempt if the FBI funds you to the
That's what I was
point
talking about.
of almost
The six-
doing it and then arrests you for it?
The 6 week cycle of the FBI. Have y'all heard about that one?
I think
No.
I've heard it, but I
6
haven't
week
heard
cycle?
it fleshed out.
No.
Yeah, if you look it up, there's actually a lot of people asking, and every time that somebody official gets asked that question about the 6 week cycle, they will just say, "Oh, I don't know nothing about a 6 week cycle." And what it is where the FBI decides that they need to show the public that they are still needed, so they find some mentally unstable person and try to. They may have a thought to do something, but then try to talk them into it, and then, like you said, fund them and. Give them a bomb that's never going to blow up. But by God, it was a terrorist attack. So, or attempted a terrorist attack that they foiled. So then they get to arrest somebody and like, hey, we're heroes.
There are federal judges who have excoriated FBI for doing this and saying these people would have never had access to any of this stuff that you provided them with. You went out and found some crank and gave him C4. Like, what the fuck?
Or not even
Yep.
crazy people. Sometimes it's just regular folks who they, trick or they force or they do something like they were trying to get,
Ruby Ridge.
Randy Weaver. Yeah. They just, hey, this, we'll get this guy here. And, tricked him, entrapment, get him to try and sell them a gun that's just a little too short. The barrel's just a little too short. And then use
Fucking
that as
jackasses.
leverage to get him to work with them. Yeah.
Have you heard about this old lady who had a piece of moon rock and these FBI agents raided her house and they made her stand out in a public parking lot? She urinated on herself. It was this whole embarrassing ordeal for this 76-year-old woman because she possessed a piece of moon rock, which she inherited from her husband who worked at NASA. So essentially this woman just innocently came into possession of this material that happens to be considered property of the U.S. government, and they to treat an elderly
know
woman
that.
like this is a shame. Yeah.
That is
But
unreal.
the U.S. government considers the moon property of the U.S. government?
So any moon material that was brought back by NASA is considered property of the federal government. So it's illegal to possess it if you buy it on the private market. And again, like look this up because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time. But yeah, so what I understand is that it belongs to the U.S. government, and apparently they will stick a hot poker right up your ass if you have one. So they could have just told. They probably could have just told her. This old woman, her husband worked for NASA. If they showed up and they're like, "Hey, that's actually property of the government," she probably would have just given it to them. But
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because they're
Why?
afraid that somebody's going to get that rock analyzed and realize it's a piece of damn shell gravel and that they never went to the damn moon to begin with.
Here's
There you go.
something. Here's something. When I was in college, I went through a science course. I don't remember which one, but we went
They're
through
all
the
the same.
point.
Science is a joke.
Yeah. We went through this whole
not real.
part, and they were like, "Yeah, the moon was. We know that the moon came from the Earth. So what must have happened is a meteor must have hit Earth, and some of that molten lava went out
Must
into
have.
the atmosphere, and that's what made the moon. And we know this because when they went to the moon and brought back a rock, it was the same material as on Earth.
Was it
And my
carbon-based?
little 18-year-old brain goes, or maybe they didn't go and they just grabbed some fucking rocks.
I said, look, you spent billions of dollars on this shit.
Let me just say that was a great title a minute ago, though. Moon rocks and hot pokers.
That's what they do. It's all hot pokers.
I just wanted to take a minute to appreciate everyone's drinking container. Cam's got his beer can, which is awesome. Jesse's got her little coffee cup. Ryan's got a fancy, like just see-through glass coffee mug. And
Cam
I got
knows I like
That
my
is
fucking
glass
mason jar.
coffee mugs.
Yeah,
Coffee
well,
tastes better in glass. And tea.
he got two when we were working in the same office, and the first time I put hot water in mine, it broke.
Oh,
And so I was like, well, I guess it's not for me. But no, it's ginger beer. So
Ginger
not even
beer.
alcohol this time.
You're allowed to do that even though you're not Irish?
Well, I mean, I'm like 17% Irish or something like that. There's
Almost
a fair
enough to
amount
get a
of being
scholarship.
Irish.
everyone's Irish because the Irish get around.
They do.
Everyone's a little Irish.
And really, let's be honest, all of the Irish are a little bit Viking because the Vikings got around.
I got French
I'm also French, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
and English.
Oh,
But
Oh.
really close Czechoslovakian.
Okay.
I could imagine that.
My mother's name was Stavinsky, so that worked out that one.
My mom got that thing done, and they sent her a piece of paper that said she was related to Cleopatra. And I was like, Mom,
Isn't
everyone
everyone?
gets. I was like, Mom, everybody gets that same piece of paper that says they're related to Cleopatra because, like, there were only 4 people back then. Like,
She sent her DNA voluntarily to a private company to
Yeah.
be filed and marked and
Yes.
patented. Brilliant.
my mom is
Later
a
on.
super blue-pilled person, and I love her, but yeah, she.
Like the paper you sign, your DNA, in many cases, it basically becomes these people's property. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy. It was
Oh.
well, and the thing is, if you go to Ancestry.com and you do it with them, then after you die, since they're
baptize
owned
you.
by the Mormon church, they'll just baptize you.
brilliant.
Turn you Mormon after death.
Well, that's just covering all your bases. I don't see a problem with that.
Well, have you guys Boston Legal? That was a fantastic show for the first few seasons. But what's his name? Robert California. Yeah, one of my favorite
yeah.
guys
James
ever.
Spader.
James Spader. Love James Spader.
He's got
But
an awesome voice. Yes.
he and my brain is not working. William Shatner. We're partners in that one. So the two of them are fast talking lawyers. It's great. But there's this one episode where this guy, if I might be remembering it wrong, but it was something along the lines of he finds out that he's immune to like cancer or something crazy like that. He just can't get it. So he's like, this is incredible. He writes a book, he starts making money, and they're going to use his DNA to build, like a cure for this disease.
Yeah.
until he finds out that one of the papers he signed with his doctor or somebody, when they did some scans and filed some stuff, they wrote like a paper on him, I guess, on his DNA. And in the process, they, filed a copyright over, on his like DNA, basically.
Mhm.
So then they take him to court because it's our intellectual property. You're not allowed to profit off of our intellectual property. He's like, it's my body. What are you talking
Sounds
about? They
about
said,
right.
no, it's data. And we have the right to use this data however we want. Here's the waiver. You signed it. But every time someone, brings up those things, that's what comes to mind. And I'm like, how soon before this? Like, these are weird times. If you're a farmer, you can't plant seeds for a second time because you technically don't own them and you're not allowed to because someone else owns the genetic patent, things like that.
Yeah.
What? Or,
So
interesting. Weird times.
An interesting side point off of what you were saying is that there's a village in England where none of the gay men got AIDS during the AIDS crisis. And they found out it was because of a genetic mutation that had happened during the Black Plague in 1358. And a lot of the people who lived in that village were the same families who had lived there hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And having gotten the plague helped them, it gave them a DNA advantage so that they were immune to HIV infection.
Wow.
And they were able to, study. These men are still alive. They're in their 60s now, and they're studying them. But I thought that was kind of an interesting thing because there are records, church records from that time where there were people in this village. The plague came through, and the people of the village didn't get sick.
The village
So-
people.
Yeah,
Who came
like-
to the gays down the road who didn't get
They were like, I
AIDS.
do declare I got a cold.
So there is like these weird like things about DNA that give certain people immunities to things. And that reminded me of that story. And I was like, get the hell out. Get out of here. You didn't get AIDS because your ancestor got the plague. Like, that's crazy.
Well, what he said actually made me think of, I don't know where the story is now, but I read it a couple of years ago.
Probably
where
on the internet.
people, I think probably, maybe DuckDuckGo. But I was reading that there was some place in Africa where they had sent some potatoes to these people, and then they started planting the potatoes and growing their own potatoes. And then a company in America tried to sue them and sent them a cease and desist from growing these potatoes because they were proprietary potatoes.
Yep.
Douchebag.
That happens around the world, like in India.
Yeah.
In India, they planted their seed. The government mandated you have to use these seeds to plant. So the farmers like, oh, okay, so they planted them, and then when the next season came by, they went to replant, and they said they were taken to court. They're like, you're not allowed to do that. What's wrong with you? They're like, we're farmers. Like, we've done this since the beginning of humanity. What are you talking about? We can't plant our seeds. They said, not those.
You have to buy them again.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that was before they destroyed all their crops. Because if you heard, a few years ago, the seeds didn't mix well with the local biome or whatever, and just they had no crops, and all these farmers started killing themselves.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
There's
Somebody
a high
brought-
suicide rate among farmers in the US too. And it's not a totally unheard of problem here.
Probably because they eat so
Where-
much soy. Stuff will kill you.
Well, more to the problem of what you were talking about, which is dominance of these companies like Monsanto over the agricultural industry.
Right.
And it actually does drive small farmers who've perhaps been doing it for generations, who have their entire livelihoods sunk into these things, and it destroys them. And
Right.
a lot of these guys kill themselves. So it's not just occurring in India. It's like a current problem now in the US. It's still going on today in 2020.
Well,
And people
this
think of
actually-
it. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this is actually an interesting kind of gel of what's going on right now as well with coronavirus, because right now with the way the government has handled it, the lockdowns, the loss of jobs, the economic devastation, there are plenty of people who are committing suicide right now. And it's heartbreaking and terrible. But one of the things that's not brought up quite as much is how much the third world suffers when there are lockdowns.
Cool.
And how, although there are a lot of deaths allegedly, For coronavirus, if you look at the number of people who are dying in third world countries who rely on the help of people who are locked down and can't make money right now, it pales in comparison. And
Yeah.
so it's one of those issues that like spans, like it's I can't think of anything more evil than what the government has done over the last year.
It's unreal. They intentionally tanked all these people's lives, all these businesses, all these everything. It's not like some natural disaster or even some war or something. Like they're just, hey, let's destroy everybody and everything.
But hey, they gave us $600, so
A joke about that is my #1 TikTok video.
So
him TikTok.
it's also like the way that people were embracing, like, you can't use plastic straws, you can't use one-time use silverware. All of these things were being like morally
Plastic
stricken.
bags.
Plastic bags, all these
Trying
things.
to bring
And-
food home for the 5 kids in these stupid paper bags.
And
trying to bring my
now
poop home.
everything is covered in one-time use plastic. Everything is sterilized. We've got 40 masks over our faces. Like, it's just so funny how people turn on a dime, and it's like a moral imperative now to waste as much single-use material as you possibly can.
But you still can't get plastic cups or straws, and you still can't get plastic, bags at the store. And yet, you walk down the street and see these stupid surgical masks all over the place. Yep.
Everywhere, on the ground, everywhere.
They just saved. And what about the trees 20 years ago? And it's like or 30 years ago now. In the early 90s, we all need to move to plastic. Get away from this paper. Save the trees. Now it's like, oh yeah, everyone use paper. You got to use paper. That's the only thing that's uses more resources. But let's go ahead and do that. You can carry less in paper. Let's do that.
Right.
Let's have a question. Somebody brought up the whole blue pill thing a while ago.
Yeah.
Nice, Cam.
Now, you know how like a lot of times it seems like the Republicans have taken over the red pill moniker, thinking that some people think that if you're red pilled, that means you've moved from blue Democrat to red Republican. And so many people
Those
get so
people are
confused.
idiots.
Yeah,
That's
those
not
people
what
are
that
idiots.
means.
I know that's not what that means, but some people
Oh,
are stupid.
I mean, I can
No.
understand why, especially a Republican would think that.
I know.
Yeah.
Kennedy mentioned something like that. Take the red pill.
How do
because they're
you
dumb.
correct that? Because I know plenty of Republicans that are like, "Oh, you need to be red pilled." I'm like, "Bro, you're not even red pilled. You're still. It's just a different shade of blue, I guess. I don't even know.
Just
Or
semantics, though. That's the thing, though. How do you have a conversation when all you're doing is
can't.
arguing over definitions? It's not worth it.
The
Yep.
minute we come up with something good to describe something like the Karen moniker, someone's instantly going to take it and ruin it and use it inappropriately. I just don't think that there's any way to avoid it. So Republicans are going to you're going to be blue pilled if you're a Democrat and red pilled if you're a Republican. Oh my God.
Yeah, you want to know
Well,
the pill that nobody's claiming, though? Fire pill. Fire pill's a good pill.
fire pill.
I know you love those fire pills.
Love the fire pill.
I'm
But no,
kind of with Ryan on this one. I'm kind of with Ryan on the fire pill.
Burn it
That's just
down.
me.
I have
No
IBS. I
salvaging this
can't
stuff.
take fire pills.
But no, that's the thing. Like, there are certain phrases, words, etc., that are very niche and perfectly matched to what it's describing. For the red pill, the blue pill, that's perfect. It's a perfect metaphor for what's going on with the corporate media and stuff like that.
If you think in terms of matrix, not in terms
Yes.
of Democrats versus Republicans.
Not colors,
Yeah. Right.
But can you
Right.
believe it's been like
colors.
21 years since that came out? How
Damn.
wild is
But-
that?
Can you also believe that the directors who are now transgender
Oh,
women
women.
have come out and said that the Matrix is an allegory for transgenderhood? And
What the
clearly it's not. Clearly it's not.
Yeah, and half
Clearly
the
it's
characters in
fucking
Harry Potter
not.
were gay. Got it.
And yeah, so it's like, yeah, okay, maybe you're the artist that created it, but the art is separate from you the minute you release it into the public. And what the Matrix meant for me is what it meant for me, and it was not an allegory for being trans. Like, clearly,
Right.
there
I
were
don't
other
even see
things.
how they do that.
Well, it's like that guy who drew the original Pepe frog. And then it was taken and used in all these different cartoons. First, it was just like a reaction image on 4chan, the feels good man, feels bad man. And then it turned into a white supremacist symbol. And the guy who drew it was like, I hate what they've done to this now. So he drew a comic of Pepe dying.
Aww.
And it was and everyone was like, "Oh, you thought you owned Pepe?
No.
That's cute." But yeah, once these things leave where they're perfectly defined and people understand them and enter the broader zeitgeist, they start to devolve quickly. Like red pill, blue pill, the trolling now means just someone who's an asshole.
Yeah.
But that's not what that means. What was the other one that was that someone mentioned? Oh, did you know that throwing shade came from the drag community?
That sounds like something that comes from the drag community.
But that's what's like, because red pill, blue, the pill, especially the binary pills, are such a perfect metaphor for what we're talking about. But as soon as it hit the broader culture, people try to make it the most retarded thing they can make it. Oh, red, that means you're a Republican. No, you're blue pilled.
Yeah.
If you say you're red pilled and you're a conservative, oh, that means no, you're blue pilled.
That just means you're colorblind.
Trusting the system.
Hate to say it though, but that's also what's happening with agorism. Have you noticed how hip that has become over the last year? All of a sudden, it's like, wait, really? And these people, yeah.
I think it's
fascinating how the definition of that is being watered down every day, based on how you see people use it and how people who now hold
right. But
hold
that's
that title.
what it either stays in a closed group and maintains the purity of its meaning, or it gets disseminated into a larger group and it gets watered down. Like,
purity.
There's not. You can't.
Purity.
Yeah.
So
the masses.
Right.
We don't need them.
But that's why it's important to have someone who understands the concept to speak about the concept. Like, that's why it's good that Malice talks about red pills and blue pills, or Mencius Moldbug, who originated that concept from the Matrix. Like, it's important to have these people. Like, last week I was talking to Britt from the Freckles and Britt show, and she said, isn't an agorist just an anarcho-capitalist past a certain body mass index? After you get fat enough to become an agorist.
Where would that come
That bitch just called me fat.
Have you seen the photos of fat Conkin? It's
I
meme
I
that
guess
goes
he
around.
was, but every other agorist person I know who's gone by agorist for the last number of years. I mean, yeah, they're not.
I mean,
where would that come from? Other than,
I think it's just he's fat in that picture, and it caught on because there's some fat agorists out there or something.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that point. I didn't hear that one last week.
You can't do a boogaloo if you have a knee brace, so you go for agorism instead.
Well, I think that's kind of why I've gotten away from the term libertarian too, is because it's just gotten so overran by, both.
Justin Amash now calls himself that. It's like, it's dead.
Like, so many Republicans and Democrats, just because they're disenfranchised by their party, they decide, hey, I'm going to be a libertarian now because it's the same as independent. But they still bring all their ideals and their wishes from that party. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Y'all just ruin the shit out of it.
Yeah, but can they really ruin something like the Libertarian Party? Like, what can Republicans do to make it worse?
And I'm not even really talking about the party itself. I'm just talking about libertarian.
Don't invite
period.
things, man.
I've talked about it previously, where I think that there are certain words that have no more utility. And libertarian is one of those that's getting closer and closer to having no utility, to meaning nothing.
Especially now since we're terrorists.
I'm not going to let them have it, though. Like, this is Christina Hoff Sommers. She won't give up feminist, even though she's completely not what you would consider classically today a feminist. She won't give it up. And I'm not going to give up libertarianism for the same reason. Like, they don't get to have it. They don't get to just change the meaning of the word. Like,
well, who was it that said
but
that
you're also taking on the burden of
like,
explaining yourself more?
Like,
I understand that, but I'm an autistic, so it should like.
Who was it that just recently came out and gave a list of all the white supremacist, terrorist, neo-Nazis included? and then they included libertarians on that list. Who was that?
Like Tom
Oh, it was
Woods.
John O'Brennan.
Hmm.
It's the
One of
ex
those.
CIA director.
The douchebag.
See, here's the thing about not letting them have the word, or I'm not going to let them have the Gadsden flag. I'm not going to. That's one of those things. Like, I don't care as long as, because for me it's the concepts, not the titles, that matter. It's being able to share the ideas. So it's like libertarian theory, I'm a big fan of, but I think that just like when you're talking about capitalism, most of the time that you talk about capitalism, most other people understand capitalism in the Marxist sense. So there's little utility in going straight into, I'm a capitalist, I believe in capitalism, when you can go, I believe in free markets, I believe in voluntary exchange, because people don't have that mental, oh, that's what that is, and then write you off, or you have to argue semantically to get to the point of what capitalism is, in the Rothbardian or Randian sense, before you can have a real conversation.
Well, that's
So I think
a good way to put it. Closing that gap, between where
Yeah.
you start the conversation, where you get to the point where you can actually talk about something worth talking about. Yeah.
Well, and that's why libertarian doesn't matter so much to me. I mean, if I'm talking to you, to Ryan, I can say libertarian and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But for the most part, I don't want to have conversations with most people. But if I'm going to have a conversation with someone I respect, I'm going to try to put it in such a way that they don't stop me before I'm able to make the point.
Yeah, I
The
messed
only
up and told
problem-
somebody I was an anarchist, and that really freaked them out, man.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, okay, not going to do
You're
that no
Antifa?
more. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you like burning shit down? I was like, well, if it needs burning down, yeah.
If it needs burning. The problem with leapfrogging around from term to term is that like we're talking about with the term Karen or whatever else, it can be instantaneously, okay, that means white supremacists too. So if you either got to draw a line and stick to something, or keep leapfrogging around from term to term as they declare each group racist or whatever it is they're going to say about
That's
it.
very reactionary and stupid.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't leapfrog around. I
No,
have
I don't think you
rejected
do.
terms.
Yeah.
Like I don't need these labels. I can tell you what I think, and I think it's best to lean into concepts. Is all I'm saying.
I more address people who are like, okay, I want to say voluntarist, or I want to say agorist, or I want to say all of these things instead of libertarian, even though libertarian theory is what I'm generally putting.
Well, the good thing about libertarianism is it has such a solid history. I mean, if you go back to Rothbard, like you go back to the entire 21st century or 20th century, excuse me, man, time's weird. If you go the entire 20th century, it's a history of libertarian thought, and it's incredible. It's wonderful to read. There's a great foundation there, but I won't reject the term, but at the same time, I don't see the utility in using it.
Yeah, I don't lead with it.
Yeah, I find more. I would prefer to just call myself an agorist if I have to call myself anything, and even then, agorists call me not a true agorist. So
Well, Paul here makes a good point. He likes to use it to alienate people he wouldn't want to have the rest of the conversation with. This is actually a good point.
That's beautiful.
It's a great point, actually.
There are things that I do specifically so that I don't have to talk to people anymore. It's like when I was going to get this tattoo for like years, I thought I'll get the Gadsden flag tattoo because I'm always going to be into freedom, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, if I could just get like a Sailor Jerry style rattlesnake, I'll have a cool tattoo that I like, and I won't have to talk to people with Blue Lives Matter flags.
Yeah.
So it's like win-win.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean,
that's like I was having a talk with my nephew. He's a cop now. And
I'm sorry.
Well, see, and that's the thing about I used to want to be one too, and I get where he's come from. He's a young guy, but we got into a slight conversation on Facebook about no-knock raids. And he was like, we serve those warrants for a reason, and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I get it, but the no-knock raids end up with people dying, either kids in cribs or the cops get shot. I was like, people die.
Dogs.
That's
people's
or their dogs. And he was like, yeah, but if we had to announce ourselves all the time, they'd give them time to leave. And I was like, well, if they would just end the war on drugs, they probably wouldn't need a no-knock warrant no damn way.
Mhm.
And then, of course, he was like, "Well, with the exception of marijuana, I think every other drug should be, federal crime." And I
Federal
was,
crime.
yeah, I wasn't going to get into the discussion of what does somebody smoking a crack pipe. To me, it always has been: if there's a crime, there needs to be a victim. If there's no victim, there's no crime.
Well,
But you can't
obviously.
explain somebody. You can't explain that to people, even if they've been red pilled. That that's not the way to look at it. That if I smoke a crack pipe, it's not doing. I don't. There's no victim. No victim at all.
Who did I hurt? Yeah.
Unless I get into a car
And your
I'm
dad
high.
might become president.
Yeah,
But at the same time,
exactly.
but it's the same time if you drive, X number over the legal alcohol limit from point A to point B, and you don't hurt anybody, you've also
No
not
crime.
hurt anybody. You've not
No, they-
committed a crime. You've
no.
not done anything worth being punished for.
No,
Mhm.
and that's where I was going with it. It's like
Yeah.
if I get in a car and I drive and I hit somebody and somebody gets hurt, that's totally different. But then
Right? You just hurt somebody.
but then that's a crime.
Right.
You're hurting. But it's the whole. I don't like the idea that a cop can be driving down the road and you might be going 60 and a 55 and he pull you over and you're a tad bit over the legal limit of alcohol and boom, you broke a law. There's a crime. I'm like, no, there's
Or
no
they
victim.
look inside your windows and see your phone in one of your hands. And
Or a pellet gun.
they're peeking
and
inside your window. They see you with a freaking phone, so they pull you. Or you don't have a belt across your chest.
Yeah.
Well, so the things these people do, it's unreal.
I'm going to bring up TikTok again because I was scrolling.
You're the
You guys
Chinese, the communist spy. We got it.
Yeah, I think you actually sent me this particular TikTok, Ryan, where it was a cop and he was doing some kind of song lip sync, and it was about how he was telling some fake girl who was texting at a stop sign to put her phone down because it's illegal to text at a stop sign. And
Yes, I did send you that.
yeah, and
That
I was
guy
like,
was trying to make cops approachable. That's the way he did his TikTok. He said, I'm here to make cops show that cops are regular
Oh.
people.
Some of them
As
cops
he's-
on TikTok are cringe as shit, man.
Oh, yeah, freaking. I want to let you guys know, you better not touch that phone at a stop sign. At a stoplight? Like,
I fix to
Okay,
start
so-
trolling the
so
hell out of
per-
every cop talk I see.
Do the cops on TikTok get trolled by comments though? Like, are they?
if I see it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because on that
Okay,
one, I
so-
wrote, "Go fuck yourself, pig."
There's been a
and then
few
you
that
sent
I've-
me
I've
that
had to
comment so I
comment
could
on.
see it.
So the great thing is like when the FBI puts out like, oh, remember Waco? And everybody
I
on the
love
internet
that.
comes out
Oh,
and is
that's
like,
wonderful.
let's have a
The-
pig roast.
The
So
TikTok
Yeah,
is
it's a-
weird, though.
The last time ATF did that, I said, "This isn't going to go the way you think it's going to go, bro."
Well,
TikTok is
and-
weird, though. You won't be surprised. You'll be surprised at how blue-pilled a lot of those folks are. They seem
Oh,
so
everywhere.
so not, but then you read the comments on some of these, like a mask post or something, and they're
Yeah.
just freaking out at that anybody would not wear a mask, or
Oh.
things like stupid things. But these people seem to take it seriously, unless it's some huge troll that I'm just not in on. But seriously, they just really, or the cop one, they're like, "Oh, you're so awesome, and thank you for your service," and all this
So
stupid
brave.
stuff. And you go to other comment sections, they're just ripping them apart. The identity politics and the other stuff. I don't know what makes the difference, but
Well, and like
What's that?
when the anniversary of Waco and Ruby Ridge, now what happens is I get tagged and I have people send my episodes that were very, very
Always.
critical
Always.
of them directly to the
Very
FBI
good
and
episode.
Yes, I do.
ATF.
Yep.
I do that too. I shared the Ruby Ridge and Waco episodes on the ATF's post. I was like, "Fuck y'all." No, it's like
Cam got on a special list after that.
I'm sure I did. I was honestly surprised they let me buy these guns I lost recently.
Yeah, those poor guns. Who knows what
Oh.
happened to those?
Who knows? This thing back here is airsoft.
look,
But-
if somebody approaches you with a good idea, just like tell them no.
Yep, nope.
I
Well,
can
thank
sell
you,
you some
FDA.
spores so you can make your own psilocybin. Okay, Fed.
Don't you hate the
Exactly.
government? Wouldn't you like to blow something up?
No. How dare
I
you?
mean, wouldn't we all? But I'm not gonna do that.
Thank God for Tannerite. You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys have you already talked about the head of the Proud Boys being
No, I forgot. I was
informant
gonna mention that.
for years with the
Enrico
cops and the
Tario.
FBI love him.
He's an informant.
He worked
Apparently.
with according to a couple things. He denies it, says that he has no recollection of any of this.
Let me
But
DuckDuckGo that.
supposedly he's worked with the cops and even the FBI for a number of years as kind of he wasn't a cop, but he was like a voluntary informant, and he was really good. So they kind of sent him from place to place, drug stuff and random stuff. That one was, what was it? Breaking up an illegal gambling
This
ring.
bitch is a Fed boy.
I mean, but is that surprising? Come on. Yeah.
Oh,
Hello, Proud Boys.
since we
Poor
were
boys.
talking- we were talking about the whole cop
Gay boys.
shit, and I forgot where the fuck I was going with that.
You're talking about
Yeah.
TikTok cops in Waco and
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have no fucking idea.
Can I put a pic? You're gonna have
Yeah.
to teach me how to put a picture up.
You put it on your phone and then you hold the phone up to the camera.
Don't
I mean,
think
you
I
can
won't
send
try
it to
that
me.
shit.
You can
Hold
send
on.
it to me, and I will.
Okay,
put
I'm
it
gonna-
up.
It's like my newest
I'm
picture
gonna
I
try
got.
and do that.
You see that? You see that? Look at that resolution.
You see my new phone? I have a non Google Android phone. It's exciting. And yet I have all the apps that I want. Yay.
Okay.
Look at my
That's
I just sent camera.
kick flick click fud. I can't speak. Kick flipping Reaper.
And you drew that, right?
My wife drew that. I colored it.
Oh, she drew that one. You guys are
I just
freakishly talented. It's not fair. What is that?
Focus.
Is that a picture?
Focus.
It doesn't like focusing on your phone, man.
I did. Look, I'm trying, Paul. Look. Okay, I've accepted this soup name too easily. I added soup can to my Twitter bio. So
I'm not seeing
oh
it yet.
jeez. Oh.
that was
Duck
far
soup.
too easy for you guys. Yeah, so I sent you this picture of Enrico Tario. That is the picture they use of him on Wikipedia. That's his official Wikipedia picture.
Straight up fucking fed.
Look at that fucking Fed boy. I don't know.
Oh.
Can we
Seriously.
say F words on YouTube?
We do
Do
now.
Sorry, Susan.
Free men don't
sorry.
ask permission, or women.
I don't make any money from YouTube. Fuck them.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I just didn't want to get your channel canceled, man. But yeah, so look at him.
What?
Look at the judge
Just
should
don't
be like,
say kill Bill Gates. Do not say murder Bill Gates. Okay.
no.
Do not say that
For real,
COVID
though.
is one great big horrible hoax. Okay. Don't say that the vaccine is
Well,
garbage.
Ryan is trying to make it so that I can never live stream again until Library puts out live streaming on the Odyssey app.
It's the last episode of this show anyway, and I feel bad for the YouTube censor that had to sit through 1 hour and 38 minutes of this to get to this part.
Don't worry. I said I will not say murder Bill Gates.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Definitely
Oh,
don't.
That
do
makes me think. That makes me think of was it Kids Whitest Kids You Know sketch? I'm gonna find this. I've got to show you this, but
Oh,
I love that show.
I remember what I was going to talk about
Yeah, go.
on TikTok. I ran across Ancom TikTok. Okay, straight up red and black anarchist TikTok, and I swear to God, the comments on her post, because she was talking, somebody was saying something about how lefties don't have guns, so then she came up and like the whole anarchist red thing, guns and stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, we got guns," and so then there's this big debate over anarchism, whether it could be communists and with the communist fists, and so many blue-pilled libertarians were in there fighting about how anarchists can't be communists, and I'm like, bro, you don't understand. It's just not. You can have a communist deal and
You
anarchism.
can be voluntarily communist. You can
Exactly.
voluntarily.
It's just
Yeah,
not.
there's historical precedent for that. The Hutterites exist. Like, come on.
Am I
Let's
going?
not be crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even try to get into that shit because I was like, these guys are not going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
I've never met a communist that reads. So, I mean, honest to Jesus, I talk to a lot of them that claim to read, and then I'll read the thing that they told me to read, and they clearly haven't read it.
Well, the main thing is the communists who call themselves communists are the fakest communists in the world.
They're like Stalin
mean-
communists.
Yeah, they're just stupid. But seriously, there are people who actually live communally who don't hold individual property, who who do
I
that
used to work
community
with them.
thing, which I can't imagine doing.
No.
But they also don't call themselves. They're just Christians.
Yeah, there was
they're
one
living
that
living the way they feel led to live. I mean,
I
nothing wrong with
used
that.
to work. I used to work with a group of communists because they live in a commune, and they're a very big religious group. It's the 12 Tribes. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. And they asked me to join their little group, and I was like, "Oh, nope, it's not going to happen."
Little
because-
pause.
Give us everything. you want.
That pregnant pause before you said group instead of cult was so cute.
it was cute. So then,
It was
so then I was like, no. He was like, why not? I said, well, I like my beer and I like my cussing a little too damn much, bro. So
And
we were
your
pretty cool.
property in general. Like, hey, you're
yeah.
part of us now. So now your property becomes our.
Yeah,
join
I didn't like that either. I was like,
property.
no,
That
my
doesn't make
pants are my
sense.
pants. That's it.
But yeah, you saying not to kill Bill Gates made me think of this old Whitest Kids You Know sketch. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore. Did you know that it's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States of America? It's illegal. It's a federal offense. It's one of the only sentences that you're not allowed to say. Now, it was okay for me to say it right then because I was just telling you that it's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States. I'm not actually saying it. I'm just letting you know that it's illegal. It's public service. I'm letting you know so that you don't accidentally go out and say something like that. But what's interesting is that it's very illegal to say, I really, really think someone out there killed the President of the United States of America. Extremely illegal. Very, very illegal. But not illegal to say with a mortar launcher. Sentence. It's an incomplete sentence, but it may have nothing to do with the sentence before that. So that's perfectly fine. Perfectly legal. I also found out that it's incredibly illegal, extremely illegal to go on television and say something like the best place to fire a mortar launcher at the White House would be from the roof of the Rockefeller Hewitt building. The president's bedroom. Insanely illegal. Ridiculously, recklessly, insanely illegal. Yet even more illegal to show an illustrated ridiculously, horribly, middle of the night, and they will lock you up. Extremely against the law. One thing that is technically legal to say is that we have a group that meets Fridays at midnight under the Brooklyn Bridge, and the password is 6.
So are you going to be demonetized for playing his video?
I mean, that's on YouTube, so I think I'll be safe.
Oh shit!
Yes. So don't say I want to kill the president. Do
Don't
not
say
say
that.
should line Bill Gates up against the wall and murder him with a firing squad. Do not say
Right,
that.
you should never say that.
Never.
But why would anybody want to do that anyway? Think about all the kind of things he did to those people in Africa.
Well, it's wasteful. He's not worth those bullets.
No.
Bullets are expensive.
They are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff all the
Oh,
all
dude,
the littered
did you see
masks
where
down his throat.
Did you see where people are 3D printing
That's what you
bullets now?
shouldn't do.
How's that gonna work? Do 3D printers do? I mean, I guess they could do metal, right?
No. It's not the shell. It's just the bullets, and they're reloading them. And dude was shooting, and they had different weights and stuff. It seemed like the lower weights were only going one round at a time, so they'd work in a revolver, but not a semi-automatic. But it was pretty good, pretty accurate. I mean, they were just really dense plastic bullets. It was pretty awesome.
I mean, if you can launch stuff, a gun doesn't have to be what we traditionally think of a gun. It is incredible, unlimited amounts of ways you can launch something sharp at somebody, and you can do it different ways.
Just don't say that you should launch something sharp at the president of the United States.
Yeah, or Bill Gates.
Never say that.
Who's higher than the president, apparently.
Don't
Or
say that.
Fauci. Yes, do not say murder Fauci. Do not.
Holy crap, the pacifist is going off.
I said do not.
He's a pacifist? Oh, man. Oh, man. We're doomed.
What's in that coffee, bro?
So I hear that David needs to wake up early and start a new job. So we should probably wrap this thing up.
Start a new job? You're not working the printing press? Or whatever printing thing you did?
I went to another printing job. I got
Oh,
called. I wasn't looking for a job. They called me and
Nice.
offered me probably what seems to be one of the most graviest jobs I've ever thought of. So
Wow. Congratulations.
Lots more TikToks, I'm assuming.
probably.
Good stuff.
So I think before we wrap this up, we need a strong opinion to all weigh in on. So do you have any strong opinions, Ryan? Maybe about the new cut of Justice League.
It's gonna
Maybe
be incredible.
So here's the thing.
Zack
is one of-
Snyder is an artur. The dude is incredible. He's an artist. I love his body of work so much. Despite the problems, despite the this and the that, and the writing issues here and there, like the dude makes incredible stuff. So I've always wanted to see, as I was one of those release the Snyder Cut guys. But yeah, I cannot wait. Oh, and as for like the 4-hour thing, have you heard about the movie reviewers and people on Twitter who are like, how could they be so stupid as to release it as a 4-hour movie? What's wrong with them? Who's going to sit through a 4-hour movie? Sounds like hell. To which I'm saying, are you an idiot? Like, this isn't coming out in a theater. You're not sitting in a theater for 4 hours. People sit and binge more than 4 hours at a time watching a show. What difference does it make if they
The
play
damn
it in one?
Titanic was like a 3-hour movie.
I know. If they played in one sitting online for 4 hours, you're going to pause it if you use the bathroom or something. Like, what are you talking about? It's the weirdest thing in the world. These movie reviewers need to get out of their stupid theater bubble, where they can't think of movies outside of theaters and just be like, well, the rest of us watch our movies at home. Who cares? People binge
Jessica,
way more than 4 hours at a time.
did you see Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice?
I hate superhero movies. I'm sorry. Look, I get it. My husband loves them, and I'll sit there dutifully and watch them with him, but I can't fucking stand them. And it's not that I don't like fantasy or whatever as a genre. It's that I'm just sick to the back teeth of them making these movies that it's done. Like, wrap it up, fellas. It's
# soup for brains.
Oh my god. No, okay, so unpopular opinion, but I wish they would tell
Wrong
human
opinion.
stories. I wish they would
Oh
tell
my
stories
God.
about people instead of fantastic creatures that don't
I watched
exist.
every Batman movie ever made except for whatever this
Oh,
bullcrap
Christ.
thing that's coming out is with that horrible
just-
vampire child. No.
Why can't we have human stories about human
That
people?
is human story. Have you not seen Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice? Fear turns you into the thing that you most hate. It
I
destroys
need
your
a
humanity.
story where
In
one
that
of the
movie,
characters cannot fly.
The human becomes less human than the alien. That's incredible.
Oh my God.
That's
But
good
we need
writing.
more realistic movies like The Notebook.
No, that's not what I've never even seen The Notebook, to be
You
honest.
haven't?
But
It's a good
like,
movie.
okay,
I love Ryan
so
Reynolds.
for-
Not Ryan Reynolds. Ryan
What-
Gosling.
what do
I
you
love Ryan
want?
Gosling.
What do you want?
so I just
What do you want?
stories about human beings, stories about human people.
Did you watch
okay,
The
so
Undoing?
I mean, I can't keep up with
It's a
everything
show. It's
new.
a 6 or something episode from HBO with
Okay.
oh, it's good. If you want humanity, it is heavy, it's hard, but boy, is it good. Definitely would highly recommend it. It's Hugh Grant. And he is something interesting.
seen him
And
for a
Nicole
while.
Kidman, speaking of witches. And then Donald Sutherland, who I would watch anything in this world with Donald Sutherland.
Right on, right on. That's a pretty all-star cast right there. I'll definitely check that out. Okay, so for example, something I really liked that came out relatively recently was like Justified with Timothy Olyphant. That was a completely human story about human people, no magic, no anything like that.
Isn't he a cop?
He is a
Yeah,
cop.
but
and there's-
Walton Goggins is a damn treat.
Oh, he's so good.
And you
as
should watch everything Walton Goggins is in.
He's amazing. I agree.
Generally,
And
don't watch cop shows.
it's okay.
I'm not
So
like you people.
I highly recommend Justified. It is a complete story arc in 5 seasons.
Ooh,
It's not.
I like
It
that.
was written. Yeah, I really enjoyed the
Some
fact that it
Breaking
was
Bad crap right there.
complete story arcs. Like, get me off, man. Like,
Yeah.
more of those.
That's what's good about
And-
The Undoing. I was so shocked. They actually told a story. They weren't
Yep.
trying to. Yeah.
End it where it's supposed to end. Don't keep trying to get money out of it. And make it suck and ride it until it dies.
Exactly.
But something where magic doesn't fly out of one of the fingertips of one of the characters would be nice for a change. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to think of movies that are
Please
like
tell me
that.
which superhero stuff shoots out of their fingertips. Who's the one?
Jubilee.
Static Shock.
Oh,
Jubilee.
Jubilee
I was
is a
asking her.
treasure. Do not down Jubilee. She's got the most
not downing her.
strongest shit.
I'm answering the question.
But she was actually one of my favorite ones in the comic books. But I was like,
I like
a movie,
Marvel.
a movie about her would kind of suck because she's, But it was. I loved her in the comic books.
I enjoy comics. I think it's been ridden to death, and I think it's just the search for more money at this point.
It's money,
I like
baby.
Starfire, but they ruined her in the recent live action things.
I still say one of the
Oh, I
best
think it's Starfire.
superhero shows ever was The Boys. I love that show.
Oh, that was good. That
Another
was so good.
non-superhero show that was really good was HBO's Deadwood, also containing Timothy Olyphant. I really like him.
He was in that, really.
He
must have been
was. He was
young.
the main. Yeah. Well,
There's
that's-
There's this one
watching
really
Bones
great
now.
show with Timothy Olyphant in it, which is The Office. I don't know if you've seen this
he
show.
is in that. Yeah.
Incredible.
I heard that show sucks. Isn't that what Jonathan
not-
Suter
I
says?
can't watch shows like in
we're
a
the crazy
documentary type film type situation. I can't do that. That's really, I like Parks and Rec, but I can't watch it. I can't watch The Office because it's all
Parks
like
and Rec
that.
was a disappointment.
It's all like documentary type footage type issue. I can't. It freaks me out, man.
Yeah. Huh.
All
I feel Parks and Rec abandoned that dynamic pretty early on. Like, they tried to go for that, what The Office was doing, and then very early on they kind of dropped it.
I think it
only
would have been
watched
better if
3
they'd kept with it.
You think?
Yeah, I think that they I like Parks and Rec. I enjoyed a lot of it, but I think at the end of it, they tried for too much of like the popcorn. Here's your laugh. Here's the like. It stopped being real.
There
like
was a
it in
sweet
the
spot
first.
in the middle. Like it took
Yeah.
like 2 seasons to get into it. And then
And
it
they
was
went-
really good. And then it about 2 seasons before it ended, it was like, oh yeah, they're done. Stop, please,
Yeah.
please stop.
So, let me
I
ask
like The Office.
Jessica, what is your favorite superhero movie though?
Oh,
Batman versus Superman: Dawn of
Pete's
Justice.
sake. I really enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They
I'll
were
give her that.
The
they
first
were very
one's good.
The
human.
first one's fun.
Are you kidding? The second one, oh my god, was so good.
Wait,
I
what?
actually really liked
It
those.
was
I
bad.
No, you haven't. But
Unwatchable almost.
you're probably looking at a different criteria than I am. But
See,
as-
my criteria is
I thought the
story,
first one was pretty lame.
and
Yeah.
the second one was all characterization. That's all it was. There was no primary external goal. There was nothing they were going for the whole movie. And so, I mean, it's great characterization, but when I was in the middle of
It
it and I
wasn't
looked at
that
my
great.
watch, I was like, well, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I fell asleep literally during it. I was sitting out in the living room watching it, and I completely fell asleep. Then I had to force myself to watch the rest. The first 15 minutes, I was like, okay, this is another they're going for the first one, and then they took
Yeah.
that hard turn, and you're like, oh no, it's not, and it's just going to be them just
liked-
standing around until all of a sudden everything gets all big and weird, and yeah,
it was
wasn't
a
big fan of that.
story about like the relationship between fathers and sons. And
I don't think they pull
him-
off very well.
I think they did
I
a great
love
job.
Kurt Russell,
Whatever.
and yet he
No,
was just kind of a drag.
If
The
you want
best
to watch,
Guardians movie was Infinity War.
that's a good one. But if you want to
Infinity
watch
War
a
was
good
yeah.
a good superhero
They're not
movie that talks
bad
about a
movies.
relationship between father and son, you have to watch my favorite superhero movie, which was the Hulk movie with Nick Nolte in it.
Wait, is that the Ang Lee's
Okay.
one with Eric Bana?
That's the one with the big dogs and everything. Yeah,
Is that the one for the
it was the
Ang Lee
one that totally tanked. It was like
Yeah, it was
nobody.
I saw that one in
everybody
theater.
hated
I
it.
was a huge Hulk fan.
And see, I have that one on VHS. I loved that movie for some reason. It was completely stupid, completely a retarded ass movie, but I enjoyed watching it mainly because Nick Nolte. I like Nick Nolte.
If
I mean-
you want to watch a show with a good father-son arc, you should watch The Mandalorian.
Oh,
I
that
love
does
the Mandalorian.
Surprisingly good show. Yeah.
that does father-son in such a
Baby Yoda.
powerful way. Like that first
Grogu.
season when you can't even see his face, but he's still emoting. And I don't know, there's something so good about that father-son thing. But as for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I would say that that's a good movie with a good story if they had made the movie about him trying to find his father and then him finding him. But since they just kind of happened upon him and then
Right.
things
There
happened,
wasn't really anything to attach to. Like they didn't actually make
there wasn't
you.
anything driving the movie.
Yeah.
It was just
There-
things were happening.
It was hard to kind of care about what they were doing.
Yeah, I get that. And a lot of it is driven, I think, by coming in as a fan of Chris Pratt already. Like they assume an attachment. They like assume an emotional attachment to him as the Andy character, which he sort of still is as Star-Lord. So, I think there is a little bit of that there. And I did. I brought my attachment to Chris Pratt with me to the movie and adore. It was like
I
it
thought
was
he
like
was annoying
Andy.
in Parks and Rec, yeah. And then when
Andy
I
in
saw the
space.
Guardians movies, I was like, oh, he's actually kind of enjoyable in the first one. I was like, this is kind of cool. I was not expecting to actually enjoy him. I thought he was just the annoying fat guy. But
He's very charming. He's a very charming, like, I don't know. You guys
in real
probably
life, he
can't
seems
relate.
like a cool guy. I mean, now these days, but my only thing was from Parks and Rec before that.
Let me follow up, Jessica. What's the worst superhero movie?
I don't know. Yeah, so I didn't see that, and I didn't see the Wonder Woman movie. I have no interest in being pandered to as a woman.
First one was good.
Yeah.
First one was Captain America, the first Avenger with a woman.
Except it was an anti-war story, as opposed to the first Avenger. That wasn't really an anti-war movie. On the contrary,
I
he was
wouldn't
the
even.
super
I
soldier
wouldn't.
Who was just like killing people.
I'm just saying it was the exact same formula, and so when I watched it, I was like, it's
Except
not
I didn't. I had very
not as
different
interesting or
morals,
well
different
acted.
moral message. Very
Okay,
different,
so
in my opinion.
whatever the most recent X-Men movie that came out, which was about them when they were all kids or whatever.
First class.
Dark Phoenix?
No.
I do not give a shit
So
anymore.
bad.
I can't tell you how few shits I give about any more X-Men stories for the rest of my life.
I like
they've
how
just-
Deadpool played into it though.
Done it to death. Let it go. Give up the ghost.
I would watch another Hugh Jackman as as Wolverine.
Oh, God.
Logan. Oh, that in
They're just
particular
gonna
was
keep
one of my
making
favorite
them
movies.
because you
I just
keep
recently watched that
watching
again. And I'm a
them.
pacifist, but I love Logan. I cannot not love Logan. And then I read the comics after that. I wanted to read all the Old Man Logan. Love Old Man Logan.
So, what's the worst superhero movie, Ryan?
There's been a lot. Most of them. How about that? But Captain Marvel is particularly bad. That
Spider-Man 3 is
moment where the
particularly
guy he says, you should smile more often. And then she like steals his bike and all of his stuff. And it's just like, really? Like that's the world we live in where
That's rude.
equality means
I'm feminist,
you
hear me
don't like a
roar.
guy, so you take his stuff, you steal his vehicle, and you have a smirk on your face. I showed him. How weak and pathetic are women where that's if someone says a word to them, the only reasonable response is to, take thousands of dollars worth of their property. So
I feel like Brie Larson is like that in real life. I feel like
Oh, she seems like the
yeah.
worst.
I
Like-
mean, after what she said about, I don't want men interviewing me. It's like, wait, what? She was really cute in Community, though. What happened to her? What happened to that one?
She was also in a show called United States of Terra that had Toni Collette
I did
playing a person who had multiple personality syndrome, and she is a masterpiece in that. And that's what I mean by human stories. That's a crazy ass story about just a human being who's got
You're talking
a
about Brie
fucking mental
Larson? She
disorder.
was a dream? Or she was incredible?
No, Toni Collette.
Toni Collette was awesome in it, but Brie Larson played her daughter in that
I think
series.
she got too big.
Toni
for her
Collette's a
suit.
woman?
Toni
Yes.
Collette, the woman, yes.
I assumed it was a dude. Okay.
Here's
No.
a show that I watched all the way through for some reason that I don't know if I'd go back to watch. But did you ever watch Big Love on HBO?
Ew.
Oh my god, I loved Big Love.
It looked awful. What's there to watch?
It was so good. It was about Mormons who had it was this one family and the sister wives and
Right.
all
And
of
everyone's
the
like, oh,
dynamics.
look, he has lots of wives. And it went on all the talk shows.
No,
It's
no, no.
like,
You're not
look, the
talking about
show with the-
not Sister Wives. The show on HBO called Big Love with
Yes.
Bill
Paxton.
Yeah. And he
right?
has multiple wives. And then all the
Yes.
shows were like, this is so cool and
No, but
progressive.
there-
It was weird.
No, there's
They
a
were-
reality
you're thinking-
show called Sister Wives where a legitimate dude had a
Yeah, but I'm
reality
talking
show.
about Bill Paxton. The
Oh,
thing
okay.
is, they
Yeah.
didn't like. I mean, it wasn't about the religious angle. They were just
Mhm.
thought it was so cool that it went on all the talk shows. How cool it is they're depicting in a mainstream show multiple wives, and they're like, we need to, yeah,
Well, if you watch the show, it's about
make
how
polygamous
fucked up
marriage
it is.
cool. It's like,
But the show
It's
doesn't do that. It doesn't. It does not depict polygamy as like the way to do things. It like shows how
Yeah.
the main character is this woman who's basically this is like the tragedy of her life.
mhm.
But it's almost like court intrigue level drama. It's really good.
fascinating.
and it talks
Yeah.
about the truth about Joseph Smith and his underage wives. and
Really?
stuff. Yeah, it's an interesting show. So,
You-
David, what's the worst superhero movie?
Oh shit! I would have to say that the Spider-Man movie with what's his name, Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire.
3, the one with Venom.
All three,
Yeah,
Kirsten
the one with,
Dunst.
they all count as crap.
the one with Venom kind of sucked. Yeah, it let me down big time because I'm a big Venom fan, and when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is stupid. This is dumb.
The
This
upside
is
down
dumb."
kiss, man. That was one of the weirdest moments in movies. My mother was sitting next to me at the theater. She's like, "What are they doing?" At the home, she goes, "Did you see how big that guy's chin was? It was huge. It was all up in
Did
her
you see-
nose."
No, he's like, "Did you see how big Kirsten Dunst's nipples were?"
Oh
my dad,
God.
my dad did, and was like, "I don't think you can watch this movie anymore." I didn't even notice. I was a child.
Well,
Kirsten
I
Dunst
immediately
is
went
the
home and
worst.
searched Morpheus for her.
She's the worst actress. Like of all the actresses, like she is the worst one.
Yes.
And I will
In that
die on that
movie?
hill. No, in
Or you mean in
period. In general, in all the history of time of any actress
Kirsten
that has
Dunst,
ever lived,
she's the
Kirsten
worst?
Dunst is the
Hey,
worst.
she was.
No,
She
she's
was not
not.
that.
She's
She was not that
terrible.
bad.
She's not Mandy
was-
Moore.
She was. oh,
No.
she was not that bad in that interview with the vampire.
Mandy Moore. Remember Mandy Moore?
She isn't Mandy Moore. You got to admit that.
Yeah.
You've got me. You've got me, man.
Mandy
That's-
Moore over the first 10 years of the 2000s. Those were a dark time.
You got me.
So for me, I would say the superhero movie I've watched the most, that is probably my favorite, is it's between the Dark Knight trilogy and but really I've watched Captain America Winter Soldier more than just about any other superhero movie, because that's just a freaking fantastic movie. I feel like that was the first movie I
Such
watched
a darn good movie.
where I was like,
I
is
haven't
this a
seen
superhero movie?
Well, it's the intrigue, the political intrigue. It's the conspiracy. It's the action. It's the special effects are unreal.
That's why I kind of like
fight
Civil
on
War.
the highway and that's just beyond anything. I
And
love
so-
Ragnarok so much. Oh my gosh, Ragnarok was
That was
so
a
much
fun one.
fun. I have watched that at least half a dozen times so far. And of
The
course,
Hulk was the
Batman
shit
v
in that
Superman.
movie.
I've bought that multiple times. I've downloaded every version of it and watched that more than any other. But yeah,
I think probably the worst superhero movie though is that that Cats movie they put out. Because I have to assume it's a superhero movie because there were a bunch of dancing cats on the screen.
What the fuck? Do you mean the musical?
Wonder Woman 1984
Yes.
was the worst movie I've seen in years. Like it was
Yes,
just
it was
so
terrible.
Bad.
We're still
So
waiting on a
bad.
Thundercats movie. That's all. I gotta
Painfully
say.
bad. I don't understand whoever in their mind thought that was
Stop.
well. Yeah, it's
We don't need
Wonder
any
Woman
more
wrong.
80s nostalgia
No, we don't.
bullshit.
Hey,
I'm
need
so
we
tired of
need
it.
Thundercats. I've been
No.
waiting for that one for years.
just wait till they take it and make them all gay.
So that's gonna be
Leave
fun.
it
Fuck
leave it in the rose colored glasses of your memory. Leave it
See,
where it's good.
I've been waiting on Thundercats. They're probably going to like Gummy Bear movie or some stupid shit like that.
This is why we're dying as a society, by the way.
Definitely. Though, have you noticed the 90s nostalgia's coming back?
Yeah.
It's like the
great.
90s styles came back, and now all of a sudden people are getting all nostalgic for the 90s, like with television and movies and like talk just in, across the and TikTok trends. It's all about the 90s now, which is apparently we're just moving up the decades, I guess.
Yeah, it's the way I always do. Because back in the
I mean, at
90s, it
least-
was about the 70s with the bell bottom pants and all that shit.
Right. Yeah.
Are we gonna listen to Ace of Base again?
No. No.
I will say I listened to tons
All
and tons
that
of
she
90s
wants
grunge, though.
is
That is darn good
lady.
music.
She's gone tomorrow, but all that she wants.
He loves Ace of Base. Listen to him. You love that song.
All right, so let's wrap it up. I'll ask David for the last time on quote unquote Make Liberty Great Again. I'll ask you all this question. I'll start with Jessica. What's your favorite thing about me?
Your really awesome Trump flag where he is firing a gun like Rambo. It's my favorite thing.
It's probably the best thing about me.
Yeah.
How about you, Ryan? Is it my awesome coding abilities and not ever having to ask you for help? Is that what it is?
It's the beard. I'm just in awe of that big bush. Me, I've not shaved in a week. I just realized today. So you can see how incredible I grow in a week. But yeah, if I didn't shave for 10 years, I would be twice this big and nowhere near like you. So I'll always envy you for that. Not that I would ever want it, but just the fact that you're manly enough to be able to grow an actual beard. That's kind of cool.
David can grow one too.
It's a doffing the cap.
David can. Love you, David. But I'm sorry, you're no Cam. You don't.
Oh, no.
Glowing
no.
the yeah. No
I
one's a
totally
Cam.
lack this right here to be Cam. That's for
It's
sure.
it's the combination, man, that pulls
I'm
off the
working.
whole bear thing.
Bear thing. All right. Not a gay man. What's your favorite thing about me, David?
Honestly, I'd just say I've always admired your ability to successfully troll someone to the point to where they get so worked up over some bullshit that you're spewing that's not even what you feel or think, but just for the simple fact it's going to get them worked up and they just getting all in a tizzy. And I absolutely admire that. 'Cause that's something that I've been trying to master, and I end up getting pissed off myself. And I'm like, "You piece of shit! I don't even believe what the hell I'm saying. You're just a gullible piece of shit." And but
And that's what we expect from you. That's what we want from you. That's why we love you, David.
But Cam
You're
will just
you're
keep
the
it
Southern
going.
uncle. Yeah. What was it? The rantings and ravings of an angry Southern dad
Pissed off
in your intro.
libertarian.
Pissed
dad.
off libertarian dad. Yeah.
All right. So with that concludes tonight's gathering.
White people signing off.
If you would like to find David Derryberry, he does a lot of stuff. He's on Instagram at The Morning Drive Podcast. He's on Twitter at Drive with David. He's on TikTok where he reacts to things and adds nothing to the conversation at Old Uncle Dave. He has a podcast called The Morning Drive, and someone needs to talk this man into unifying his online handles because it makes life so much easier. If you want to find Ryan, he does a wonderful little show, concise, something you can listen to in between 3 and 5 minutes
Concise,
and learn
like my
something,
facial hair.
called Technoagrist, which you can find at technoagrist.com on your favorite podcatcher. He started making videos, and they are on YouTube now, so you can look at his face as he speaks to you. You can also find him on Twitter at Technoagrist. And last but not least, well, not last because I'll go last because I'm the most important, but before that, we have Miss Jessica Green, who you can find all of her tweets at LibKitWitch, Libertarian Kitchen Witch, which if you search Libertarian Kitchen Witch, you'll find her. If you want to see the best damn watercolor paintings on this side of the Mississippi, you need to go to Sovereign Cookies Art on Instagram. She's also got a show called The Jessica Green Show that she doesn't do. You can Google it.
No.
But she's
Don't
joining
even care.
me on the newest iteration of this show called The Mad Ones, starting this next week. Got a lot of work to do to make everything look pretty, but we've gotten someplace. If you want to find me at Cam Harless on Twitter, and you know what? Don't worry about the this is MLGA's. Otherwise, I'll update you on that crap later. And as always, for the last time with this particular sign out, do your best to stay sane.